Africa will never ever be great, I submit to you Nigerians, if Nigeria is not great.
How can Nigeria be great? Stay with me here, guys, because we have a lot to talk about.
With a population of over 300 million, I'm suspecting that your census doesn't always tell us the truth. I suspect you are 300 million. With a population of 300 million, if that Nigeria can be made into a market, who can control the continent of Africa? Who can ignore the continent of Africa? Tell me, where in the world do you not find a Nigerian? Somebody once told me that if you go to any place in the world and you do not find a Nigeria, run away from that place.
The key component of a thriving nation, it's its population. Population is not necessarily an automatic key to success. If you understand how to put that population to good use, then you're smiling.
India is above 1.3 billion. They are the largest population in the world. Okay. Nigeria is largest population in Africa. Yeah. So if you take largest population in the world, 1.3 billion, and they were able to bring productivity, these are the things we have to learn.
Leadership is a problem that plagues Africa. If we take a look at the intellect coming out of Nigeria and the excellence coming out of Nigeria, there is a total imbalance. Can you imagine for one moment if Nigeria gets leadership right? Oh boy, oh boy. Do you think there will be anyone left in the diaspora? Do you think that Nigeria will not be filled with a whole lot of people who wants to contribute, who wants to make Nigeria great? Leadership is important. Greatness awaits Nigeria.
I'm calling upon Nigeria and Nigerians, rise up to the occasion. Rise up so that your politics will be a point of reference, so that when we watch men and women in the Senate in Nigeria and in the House of Representatives in Nigeria, and we watch them debate, they'll be debating about the things that relate to Africa.
Nigeria needs a robust economic policy to raise its GDP. A very strong collective GDP is bound to make Nigeria great, is bound to make Africa great.
We want to see a Nigeria that is economically dominant, because if Nigeria is strong, then the rest of Africa is strong. So when I hear occasionally Nigeria saying that is the third largest, sometimes the second largest, sometimes the first largest economy in Africa, I'm not impressed. Because when you have a GDP of 500 billion, I'm not impressed. I think you should have a GDP of 10 trillion United States dollars, then I will be impressed.
Nigeria is the world's top cassava producer, but it's ranked 59th on the global list of exporters. In 2021, Thailand earned nearly $1.3 billion from exporting cassava, despite producing less than half as much as Nigeria. That same year, Nigeria earned just $1 million.
I remember like 12 years ago, farmers with farm, they were had to call the cows to come and eat it up because nobody to buy. But now that we are turning into industrial use, there is high demand for the crops, so farmers can get good value for their crops.
If Nigeria can grow, process, and export more, it could tap the huge economic potential of cassava.
We grow the highest amount of cassava in the world. We are now ready to take our place at the global scene.
Let's go down memory lane. Nigeria used to be a very powerful agrarian economy. What happened? We discovered one of the most powerful resources on earth, black gold. Tell me in the comment section, what do you think? Is oil a curse? Agriculture can help diversify Nigeria's economy. The more layers we add onto our production capabilities, the more great Nigeria becomes.
When I hear Nigeria saying that they generate anything between 5,000 and 10,000 megawatts of electricity, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed because little Denmark generates 35,000 megawatts of electricity. And if Nigeria is to earn the dividends of democracy through industrialization, Nigeria must now get and embark in the serious business of ensuring that Nigeria has energy to propel not only her and her neighbors, but the continent of Africa into the fourth industrial revolution.
There has been a great transformation of the Nigerian electricity sector, but a lot more needs to be done. Nigeria is harnessing its solar power. Private sector partnership is coming in.
There is some electricity production capacity in Nigeria, but only a small part of it is really reaching the final consumers. So this is something where we wanted to contribute with our technology. It's a PPP, so the governments, of course, are involved, but it's also private banks financing it, and Siemens Energy, our largest energy company, is behind it in the technical implementation. And the good news now is with the new government under President Tinubu, we made some progress, which means that in the first half of 2024, those measures under this so-called PPI Presidential Power Initiative managed to add 670 megawatt to the grid capacity, to the final consumers, which is about 15% of the whole of electricity production in Nigeria that is reaching the final consumer. So that's already a progress.
There can be no life without light. It's a matter of the blue pill or the red pill. Let's go down the lane of the red pill so that Nigeria can be great again.
We must be informed by the desire to ensure that the countries that we live in are led by men and women who are blind to our differences, men and women who are blind to the distinguishing factors which only divide us. Because as the saying goes, he is not a Democrat, he or she who appeals to primordial ethnic sentiments or religious sentiments. We must as a people recognize that our diversity is our strength.
The great thing about Nigeria is its diversity. There can be no room for bigotry. Nigeria needs unifying leaders. Leaders who can make Nigerians proud to be Nigerian. Nigeria's economy is currently the biggest in Africa, with only 50% of its capacity. Can you imagine if Nigeria operates at 100% of its capacity? Sorry to tell you, the game will be over for everybody else. Please like and subscribe.